how to add boning into the side seam of a dress. So I've cut my boning, the length of my side seam, net of seam allowance. So I don't want it to go all the way up to the very, very top to the edge of the seam allowance. So just to explain that again, this is the side seam of my bodice, this is my waist. So I've left it the 1.5 centimeters short. Okay, so it's not going to go up through the end of the actual seam allowance on the side seam. So the next thing you need to do is just to cover the ends of the boning so that it doesn't poke through the fabric of your dress. So you just take a little piece of calico or curtain lining or cotton or whatever it may be, fold it over, and then just simply stitch across. Just stitch across that once or twice, and then you can just tidy it up a little bit. Okay, and you do that on both ends. Okay, so I'll do the other piece after, and then just simply sew it in. So I've decided to just put it on the side seam. What I've also done in preparation for this strapless dress is I fused the top half, the top bodice part of my dress. So just on the lining down as far as the waist, I ironed on some fusing the whole way across, all the way on all my panels. And that just helps to give it a little bit of stability, because obviously being strapless you want it to be good and sturdy on the top of your dress. So this is my side seam. So I'm going to place my boning on my seam allowance, and again coming down the 1.5, and I'm going to stitch through see that a bit better. So I'm stitching through the boning right through the lining, just on my seam allowance. So that's one edge. I'm a bit obsessive about trimming my threads off as I go, but it just makes for much neater work. Oops. And then stitch down along the other edge. That is the boning, so it's kind of flopping around a bit, so we don't really want that, okay, because that could just be uncomfortable to wear and it could just sit funny as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to stitch that flat to the actual side front of the bodice. So pop that underneath the machine. Making sure to keep that pulled open as you go, so that this seam here is nice and open. So that is what it looks like on the right side of your lining. So you've just got a nice even line of stitching, and then on this side you've got your boning, but it's nicely covered off on either end so that it won't poke through the fabric and go into the person who's wearing it. So that is how to insert boning on the side seam of a strapless dress.